Yeah, excited that game week is here. I know our players and everybody really a part of the program is excited to get going. Excited to kick it off at home. Anytime you can open up the season at home, home opener for our fans and everybody. Like we've been talking to the team, our job is to stay focused on what our job is go out there and play a clean good game of football. And so we've had a good training camp. I think just like everybody around the country, ready to go play somebody else, ready to get on the same sideline as the entire team. And so we're excited and ready to get going. I think excited about Thomas Moore coming over here. A lot of respect for Coach Norwell. Just looking into his background, talking to him this summer, really similar to myself as far as just being at the same place for a long time. Caring about that place, being there as an assistant, becoming the head coach, and so it should be a great night for football. We've been blessed this week with some unbelievable weather, so ready to get this thing kicked off.
Whoever wants to ask first can go ahead.
Hey guys, sorry, a minute late. Hey coach, this is not related to the game. I'm Joe with the Underdog.
Yeah,
Nice to track you down finally.
yeah.
Man, I saw the tribute you guys are doing for Sharon. I'm talking to Roger a little bit later today. Can you just kind of talk about what she meant to the program? I saw the decal on the helmet. Anything else you guys are planning on doing? I know she's a special lady and did a lot for the program.
Yeah, I think we could talk for a long time about what Sharon Lipe means to Saluki football, specifically the impact that she made on really every single person that came through this program, coaches and players. And I think the celebration of life was awesome that we were able to have here. I think on August 9th. Just hearing the stories and the just the impact. I mean, when you think about it, when you're laid to rest, the legacy that you leave is what's left behind. And she left a legacy specifically here. And for me personally, being a part of this program, you just remember it didn't matter if you're having rough day, good day, her celebrating your wins, but really that person that was just she knew when to give you a hug, knew when Coach Kill was being hard on you, cared about you. She was like a second mom to a lot of people, like a first mom to a lot of players. And so just a small tribute to be able to honor her name. We've talked a lot about it as a team. These guys not knowing um, really Sharon and Roger has been around and will be around some and lead some of our chapels even this year. But just the respect and knowing the people that come before you, I think Sharon Lipe is a Hall of Famer in Saluki football. She really is. I think I don't know if the program would have been able to withstand all the coaching changes. What she did for even Coach Kill would be the first to tell you. That entire staff would tell you that when they got here, she was the consistent piece that knew how to operate the university, the problems, how to solve problems, and then keeping Coach Kill in line for those 7 years. And so, yeah, I mean, I wish we could do more, but something simple for us that we'll have Sharon with us all season.
No, that's cool. I know he appreciates it. Like I said, we're talking later today. Um, and I don't mean to hog it. So, Thomas More, what kind of pops off at you in terms of things you're going to have to stop, defensively?
Yeah, I think, anytime you go into a week one, you've got to be you're really concerned about our style of play and controlling what we control. The training camp is long, and you want to set out to be able to prepare your team for a lot of different situations and looks that you're going to get throughout the season. And our defense does a nice job of doing that. And I feel like our offense, through a 3 week training camp, does a good job of preparing the defense for a lot of different personnels, a lot of different formations, a lot of different looks. So in week one, as coaches, you've really got to make sure as a staff you're not chasing ghosts and trying to figure out something that doesn't come up. So obviously we've traded film and we're going to dive into their last season, but also be prepared for, I mean, we're all coaches. So you're going to look at the last season, you're going to make adjustments, you're going to have some new looks, and they're going to roll that out in week one. And it's really about, for me, week one is about the fundamental things. Number one, playing a clean game, penalties, substitutions, getting the calls, getting lined up, and then just playing with relentless energy, tackling really well, yards after contact. When you run the football, you have that ball in your hands. And so, if we do that, then that's what I'm most concerned about.
Let's go to Bucky.
All right, can you hear me now?
New year,
Yeah.
Bucky, same thing. No camera. Be nice to get you on camera one day.
I've got a face made for radio, Nick.
You got to get out of your pajamas here at 11, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess eventually, old dog can learn new tricks, right?
That's right.
Anyway, you were talking about talking about the defense, looking to, playing with energy, tackling really well. From what you've seen of that unit this preseason, what you've seen, what Lee is doing with the defense, what makes you optimistic that the defense can make the improvements everybody there is looking for this year?
Yeah, I think it's just, we got to go out there and play through training camp, feel really confident in that group, the defensive unit, coaching staff. I think there's a cohesiveness over there. We've talked about this a lot. I mean, if there was a perfect defense that you were supposed to run in football, then everybody'd be running the same scheme. And so I think it's about learning your personnel. I think we have the ability to be extremely multiple, and then building our depth and personnel. So for me, it's the fundamental things that come down to defense. Obviously, you have to be gap sound no matter what scheme you run. If you want to stop someone, you're going to have to be able to you win your one-on-one matchups. You're going to have great block destruction and be physical at the point of attack. And you're going to have to be able to guard some people at times. And so I think that Coach Lee has a great grasp on what great team defense looks like, and excited to see those guys out there and playing a full game.
And one more thing I wanted to ask about too. Saw the captains were named the other day. For you personally, what goes into the selection of the captains, and how important is that from the team perspective to have the right guys being your captains?
Well, I think, well, number one, the process of selecting them is just the team votes. They get 4 votes, and then we tally up the votes, and the top 4 vote getters become captains. I think that's important. Um, I don't look at the ballot. Somebody else tallies them up. It's that locker room is like a sacred place, and you earn that respect through a lot of hard work and just how you handle yourself as a man. How you treat your teammates. The freshmen that just got here, they get a vote that counts just as much as anybody else. And so I think just it's an honor to be named a captain of whatever, and it's a big responsibility as well. You have to want to lead, and so I think we obviously have a leadership council as well. That's a bigger group of guys, but as far as those 4 guys that will represent us at midfield and be called upon to lead, great group of guys, 4 guys that. Really exemplify, what the standards of this program are. I think, the one that probably fans, obviously DJ, Derek Harden, is won our, toughest Saluki Be a Man award for a couple years. Just a great example for our new guys and freshmen of what this is what it looks like to be a captain. Obviously, Bohannic, and has been a captain before, and then Andrew Bame, a guy that probably even a lot of media or fans. He played in one game for us last year. I think is a perfect example of, it's just undeniable, but that's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like. That's the work ethic that you have to have. That's the respect. That's the accountability piece that obviously his teammates saw and respected to vote for him.
And
Thanks,
Dan,
Nick.
you want to go ahead, Dan, you can.
Sure, thanks. Hi, Nick.
What's up, Dan?
Doing well, thank you. Knowing that you're always excited for the season opener, especially one at home, does this year take on even more of excitement and anticipation for you, given kind of how last year went, and also the fact it's your 10th year?
Yeah, 10 years, grateful for that opportunity and to still be sitting here, the longevity of that. I'm excited every year to get the season started. Obviously, when you come off a tough year, you go all the way back. I mentioned this to the team and the team meeting um, late last week about it didn't seem that long ago. I had all the guys that transferred here in December, and it was January, and it's like, hey, winter conditioning's 8 weeks long. It's not going to be that, to be here and gone before you know it, and then we'll be in spring ball, and then we've got another segment. And I'm like, you think back, like we can think of that team meeting pretty vividly in our minds. Like when you guys first came, first day of winter conditioning, it's cold outside, all of that kind of stuff, and having that kind of chip on your shoulder, but it seems far away that you really don't get that taste out of your mouth till you get to be able to go back out there on the field. And it's just a perfect example too. Like this season will come and go quickly as well. And that's why it's just about the process of every day. And those scores take care of themselves if there's just, and that's what we've honed in on these last really 2 weeks in preparation for game one is like every day is equally important. The games will come here quick enough, and the score will ultimately take care of itself. But we have to make sure that we're doing everything correctly in that preparation. And so, probably, me in year 10, I've learned to just enjoy. I'm going to enjoy this week. I'm going to enjoy that it's Tuesday, it's not Saturday. I'll enjoy, not trying to wish days away to get to game day, but just truly kind of where my feet are. I think probably having a full family has done that. Like looking forward to Thursdays of getting out of here and picking the girls up for school and what that means, and Friday mornings getting to take them to school and that day before feeling. And so I try to enjoy every day, and game day will get here when it gets here.
Thanks again.
Thanks, Dan. Is there anybody else that wants to ask anything?
Yeah, I've got a couple. Morning, Nick. How are you?
What's up, Matt?
Not too much. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Good. I kind of want to take you back to that Incarnate Word game. Before DJ's injury in that game, he really seemed to be turning the corner, coach, and feeling comfortable in the offense at that time. Before the injury and all the stuff that followed, what were your feelings about him and his play in that moment, and looking forward to the future before the inevitable happened?
Yeah, I've talked about this before. I just think that in game we got a feel of his presence and how he reacts to different situations. I thought that it was a progression to game three, which you should see, especially with a new quarter. Last year was year one for him. Not even being here a full year in the system, but just seeing how game day and that feel of coach to player on the sideline in between series. And that at that point that I knew, I've said that after BYU on the plane, I told my wife, and I think my brother always texted me and stuff, is like, DJ's gonna be pretty special. You just even in the moment of down 21, the way he talks in the huddle to the guys, the calmness that he displays on game day, and then going to BYU and him not really, playing the way that he thought he could play. It wasn't bad. He made a lot of big plays in that game as well, led us on some scoring drives, but just seeing that how it really bothered him to not be, missed a couple throws and made some decisions where it's like back in the film room, like that's not good enough, type feel. And then I thought there would be a couple games where it just all comes together for him and he would be pretty special. We got a glimpse of that in that three, but that's when he got hurt. So, and then I think, as a man of faith, and he believes that as well. He's been through it before about how, the journey of football will take you in a lot of different paths. It's usually not the one that you pick. And so I think that's made him even better, stronger mentally. And so, yeah, there'll be ups and downs in this season. I think when you think about quarterback play, team play, if you're on this journey to try to get to the top of the mountain, there's going to be some setbacks. There's going to be some adversity that we don't see coming yet. But having the right guys in the locker room, you can withstand that stuff. And so, yeah, I'm excited for him to get out there and cut it loose again.
Feels like Chris Presto's kind of in a similar position that Ben Bogle was in last year this time. Obviously, Chris has got a little bit more name recognition and did a little bit more than Bogle did up to this point last year. But is Chris one of those players that are on the roster that you're expecting a big breakout year from?
Yeah, I think Chris Presto is one of the best players on our team, no doubt. He's got a chance to be one of the better players at his position in the country. The people in this building know this. I mean, he's played a lot of football for us, played as a true freshman last year, really good player, and you just kind of see that progression. Honestly, a lot like Branson Combs, as far as his progression from, first year starting to second year starting to third year just taking off. And then, um, speaking of which, we'll be, I don't think they've been officially announced, but hopefully get some good news with Branson down there with the Jaguars today or wherever he ends up. But proud of him. And but yes, I believe Chris' future is bright. He's another guy that easily could be a captain. Got a ton of votes to be a captain, and so excited to see him, take that next step.
And then finally, Jagger Williams, a name that we've seen and heard plenty the offseason and in the preseason. What excites you about Jagger?
I think just his, consistency, his maturity, his experience. He's got some savviness to him, some natural, just feel for the game, I think. So all those collectively is what you're getting, as far as a 1 year player. That's the expectation. And I love the way that he's just came here and worked, as far as just putting his head down and knowing that the reps will take care of themselves, not pushing or being antsy or whatever. Even got here in the summertime. Coach Prawn's done a great job with him, did a great job in the recruiting process with him. I knew right away once he was here on his visits, like this is the guy that we want, as far as just the maturity at dinner and hanging out and with his dad, the conversations, just a maturity that has made our team better.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Matt. Okay, the floor is open for anyone else that wants to ask anything to Coach.
Can I throw one more at you, Coach, just around
Yeah.
play calling duties and kind of taking that back over? Obviously, it's not a huge stretch for you. How has that gone? Can fans expect anything different in terms of flow and approach? I mean, without giving anything away,
Yeah.
what can fans kind of expect?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, hopefully, when when the plays go right, you look good, and when they don't, it's on you. So, I've called him for a long time, and even last year, heavily involved. And Coach Rowland, I wouldn't have let Coach Rowland call plays, if I didn't, know that he did a great job as well. Super detailed. We collaborated throughout the week, and then. But I think to be a good play caller, you just have to do it. I think I've learned a lot over the last, 2 years, and really back to 2023 of, just I think taking a step back and then now getting back in it. It's just this is the way that no matter what, good, bad, not anybody in the building, if Coach Prawn hands it over, to Coach Mack, there's going to be a little bit of differences. You're the guy collaborative effort throughout the week. It's just not me telling the entire staff. Everybody has a role. Coach Clark in the run game, Coach Griffin and Coach Warner, bringing me their ideas, and then we collectively put together the card. Um, so there's really not a play on there last year or this year that it's like, no, I wouldn't even have this on the card. It's just, but calling plays in a game is a feel, and you got to do it. You have to react in real time. You have to get in the flow of the game. Great play callers are able to set things up. So even if it's a play early in the game, setting something up for maybe a quarter later. And so I'm excited. I do feel like, which takes away from some different things as the head coach. You got to be able to really delegate and trust your staff like I do. But it's been a joy getting back really every day. With the biggest difference is just me in the quarterback room every single day. Whereas then the head coach popping around to some different meetings, sitting in on defensive meetings and now it's just, this year, spring and summer and fall has been, every day in there with the quarterbacks, every minute of every meeting.